You are listening to
Belly bounce.
Ling Long Ling.
Yeah, that's it.
Too
Now
slow.
it's- Belly bounce.
Ling Long Ling.
I really want the belly bounce
Ling
ling
long
long ling thing to work. Maybe because that's an example of the two of us working together. You're listening to Russell and Matt on Audio Boom. This is some of the best bits of the way that we learn to be the broadcasters you're listening to now.
Russ, Matt, G Audio Boom.
Been very much on a spiritual quest.
Have you?
Very much on a spiritual quest. It's hard to... I mean, almost immediately you state, I'm on a spiritual quest. That's not the sort of thing a person on a spiritual quest would openly state. Because I suppose it's like you've got an objective in mind, you've got an agenda. But I went to India, and I do... Like, if you're going to believe in God, you can't go, I believe in God when I'm in this country, or, you know, that's just about aesthetics. But it does seem to be, if you make people dirt poor, they will be more willing to believe in God and generally be cooperative. Even in a prison, like when I was in Louisiana State Penitentiary, aka Angola.
When you were in there?
For a week.
How long did you do?
I really got... God, I must have served a week in that place. I really got to work out my grammatical structures because of like things that I do say. I was in the Marines. I've been saying quite a lot, haven't I? For a day.
Filming.
I was in Angola State.
You met the Marines.
Yeah.
And you went to... Well, you did... Yeah, you did go to the prison, but...
I don't know how different... I don't know how different the experience is if you actually are a prisoner. Having recently watched the film Starred Up... have you seen the film Starred Up?
But what is that about?
It's about... Starred Up is an
Hierarchy.
expression... often a prison film is about hierarchy, social structures, gangs, conflict, masculinity, and Starred Up is no exception. A young lad is starred up from a young offender's home into a normal prison where his dad is, and keen to establish himself with the other prisoners, he goes on a violent rampage, almost from the get-go. I think what it makes much of the ingenuity of of people stripped of like the normal, paraphernalia of life. As soon as he arrives there, you think, what's he got that baby all for? But you find out that when his cell gets raided after he brutalises some other bloke almost accidentally, it's like he's got so much fun.
That's what Charles Bronson does, doesn't it? He covers himself in butter so they can't grab him. If you went into prison and you were taking baby oil, though...
Is they like, well, have you got a baby?
What are you doing with this?
That's coming off it for a start. And also, like, covering yourself in butter, as that Charles Bronson reportedly often does. It's it's an horrible smell, that.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's doing it as aftershave. I think it's so they can't hold on to him. But that's stupid, isn't it? Because you're only slowing... They're going to grab you.
Once
It's like, wee, I'm a bar of soap. Just like...
Goodbye, you schmoes!
And also, if you're covered in butter, does he do his feet? He must be a danger to himself.
Yeah, he'll slip.
And he'll go, that's police brutality. I slipped over and banged his head on the bunk bed.
I can't believe it's not institutionalised violence. Why is he doing that to himself, Charles Bronson? In the film... Starred Up, it's one of those. I suppose it's the scum of our time,
right? Yeah,
and I thought I would not do well with prison life.
I don't think you would, no.
Because my whole identity is built around showing off and individualism, and like in prison,
and freedom.
Freedom to do pretty much as I please. I come up against the slightest obstacle. Like, for example, I go to the bowling alley, taking my friend who happens to be an 8-year-old. Her mum was there as well. And they said no bowling, no bowling with children. And
with children? Well, hang on, it's a bowling. It's an adult bowling alley.
After 5, adults only, to create a more.
That's because you took it to a trendy one.
Yeah.
In East London, didn't you?
Just because it was the nearest one, but you're right, it was trendy. It was so trendy, it excluded me. I wasn't in keeping with the trend.
Right.
So I just had to leave. They go, you can come back again with that kid tomorrow at 1, which I did. And then they said, you have to book. You've not booked. And I was like,
God.
Hold on a minute. I was here yesterday, and they knew I was there yesterday, and I'd done photographs with people when I was there yesterday, and then they kicked me right. I tell you what, the level of fury... I didn't express the level of fury because I was with the child, but I felt so angry and incensed that it makes me think I would not cope well with prison life. Where
I
it's
love
like,
that that's what you drew from it. Do you know what I'm starting to think here with your silly shoes and your balls, heavy balls? I don't think I'd do well in prison. Good day. So what? You never bowled?
I still have to. I still haven't got around. To tell you the truth, Matt, I don't particularly like bowling.
No.
I don't like the putting my fingers down those 3 little holes.
Well, there you go.
This just in.
I've heard you say that before.
I don't like wearing those shoes.
Do you ever get the fear that it might? Sometimes I think my thumb won't come out.
Yeah.
And it will pull on my thumb and just hang there for a second. And
Like
then it will
thumb.
hit the wood and just roll off to the side.
With the thumb in it.
Painful and embarrassing.
I don't like anything that's
Not the thumb in it.
anything that puts pressure on a socket. I don't like.
No.
I don't like to feel that's socket pressure.
Yeah, well, sometimes with bowling or darts or anything like that, you do 2 and you think, I'm really good at this, and then it all goes to pieces. And then you've got to play the whole game for ages.
As soon as I put any weight of expectation upon myself, like this is going well, it falls
Yeah.
apart. I can't. I'd be very easy to psych out if I was a sportsman because, for example, I was playing table tennis with Jonathan Ross. Here's a show business anecdote. I was playing table tennis with Jonathan Ross in his back garden, and I was thrashing him. I was
Yeah.
really doing well.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, say something like 17-10 up, and it's only to 21. Jonathan took off all his clothes till he was naked,
Did it to put you off?
and he won.
He's got a massive willy, hasn't he?
It didn't help.
What, the willy?
That's right. The whole spectacle.
Was he using it as a bat?
Just to
Just
see
with a
it
flick
there,
of his hip? Come on.
it was really, really unsettling.
Why did he do that? Just that... Why were you...
Even though I like to say to myself, I would too have stripped naked had I not been in his garden and his family there.
Right.
But the
Well, he
fact
did it in
is
front
there
of
was
his
a
own
disparity.
family.
Well, they weren't there. The family were.
This sounds very odd.
They were in the house, but they could have come out at any time.
So what did you do to end up in prison?
I strangled one of Jonathan's daughters in a revenge attack for losing the table tennis match. Anyway, so like that. I went again. I suppose like my fleeting visits to prison or my scant time with the Marines.
Yeah.
I went to an ashram in India to meet the hugging saint Amma. Like what she. Have you heard of her?
Well, no, I think I might have heard of her, but I've heard more of that free hugs thing. You know, where they do free hugs in the street and then they hold up a sign. It says, yes, you've heard of this, free hugs.
Yeah, but who does that? And I mean,
It was like a massive thing that
The
it was
connection
on
is
YouTube.
just hugging.
Yes, hugging. But I'm saying like the belief in the power of the hug.
There is definitely a power in the hug. I mean, I once had a marriage guidance counsellor that said hugging releases endorphins.
Really?
My God. I hugged my way through another 11 months of that.
Well, okay. Let's not
I mean,
go
he
there.
was desperate by that stage. Hugging?
Hug me? Yeah, so she's... All right, I don't know about it then.
She's a hugging saint. Now, look, Amma,
But she can't be a saint if she's still alive.
can he not be canonised in life?
I don't think so.
I thought it was just 3 miracles. You do 3 miracles.
Oh, just 3 miracles.
I know.
thought it was just 3 miracles. I'm on 2.
I'm well on the way, thank you very much. One more shared wed well. I'm going to be a lovely predicament. Yeah, no, you do 3 miracles. That is the standard. So basically, anyone who is a saint, they've at some point done 3 miracles, so it's well worth checking.
Really?
St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland.
1 miracle.
Well, I don't know the other 2.
Was there only 3 snakes?
And you! And you!
We're adding you! Oh, what's this certificate?
Thank you very much!
Right, so she's done 3 miracles.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out what they were.
That's right. But, I mean, look, if you're going to be... That's just for a Catholic canonised saint, and I know you're a Catholic
okay.
and I don't want to mock your religion. Perhaps being a saint in other realms is just to be a true representation of higher qualities of life. And having met Amma, she does run along on the vibe of love. G, who's also here with us, we went and visited Amma. The first time I met Amma was in Manhattan. She was doing like a hugging gig at a great big 5,000-seater venue.
How much was the ticket?
Nothing.
Okay, I like her. That's 1 miracle.
Yeah,
It
she's
was
not-
free.
It's free.
But was she selling T-shirts and stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This complex I bought G a calendar. He's still got it to this day.
Tell me about
like
that,
the Amma
actually.
calendar.
That's how I know she does merch.
She does have merch at the back. What's a bit weirder is you could buy like her 90s.
What?
You could buy Saints 90s.
That
up
she's
the back.
worn?
That's right.
Oh.
It's a bit.
Why? Because are they like what? Hang on, this is a scam.
You're already at
She
it's a
sells
scam.
her 90s.
Not even arrived at the ashram. She's not. It's not like out
You're
of
a
the
real
back
saint.
of the
You should have
van.
190 for about 50 years.
I ain't wearing that night again. I wore it last night.
new one, box fresh. Some mug will buy that one. It's got poop up the back of it. Who cares?
I put that one on. I just fine. Who's done one? Yeah, what a nighty. Well, and socks and everything, all sorts
Oh,
at the back.
socks and everything. Oh, I can't afford a 90. I'll just go for a sock. How much is that? 200 quid, all right, yeah. She's a real saint, isn't she? Yeah, great. Okay. Has she hugged this sock? That's all right. I suppose I was going to spend it on Mother's operation, but no, I've got this sock. We'll just pray to this every night.
Now, Mother, I got some good news and some bad news. The good and the bad news is, I'm afraid
You're
you're
going to
not
turn
gonna
your
be...
machine off.
But the good news is, your left foot's going to be a lot warmer.
Right.
Hello, who's this you? You're right, your operation's not happening.
Oh, what's that, Mr. Socky?
Well, my mate, we're switching the machine right off.
Well, she's got merch at the back. But
Did you buy any clothing?
I bought G a calendar.
Calendar? Did you buy like anything?
I didn't buy the other stuff. To be honest, I had questions and queries about that. But
Okay.
look, let me just state
Right.
from the outset.
I'm just being cynical.
I know you are, and I'll just state from the outset. I don't know about the mysticism or the miracles of the unknown and all that. But what this woman's like, sort of if you meet someone who's claiming to be a saint or whatever, or the charges that are often levelled at me is like, well, hold on a minute, you're a bit of a hypocrite, and you go around in that fancy car. She don't go around in a fancy car or anything like that. She just kips on the floor. Her ashram, where she lives, what I visited, is where her village was, where she was born. Now the whole village is sort of dedicated to her. 10,000 people live there, and say for example when that tsunami happened, was that 2004? They're out there. They've since that tsunami built 125,000 homes for people there in southern India, and the sort of the work that the philanthropic and humanitarian work that they've done is of such a staggering degree. 5 universities built across India, hospitals, all that.
Where's the money for that coming? She doesn't charge for the gigs. That can't all be coming from
Don't
old
call them-
socks.
Another sock, 10k.
200 quid for a sock, that by a new village.
Yeah, look at these, knee high. That's £5 on it.
So she's... No, I'm not saying that sounds really good.
The money's
Done all
coming
that
from
stuff.
donations.
Yeah.
I mean, in a
Right,
way,
okay.
she is just like the facilitator of these donations,
Yeah, right.
because people believe in her, because she has literally I mean, this is like my experience of it, just to sort of to balance the cynicism. At the end of me staying there for just a couple of days, I'm going to stay there a week, but it's too hardcore, Matt. The room I was staying in, I mean,
What?
it's
Not
seldom-
air conditioned.
Actually, they did have a little air conditioning unit, but it's very sparse. The beds are like pallet beds. I mean, and they felt like pallets as well. I mean, very, very hard, austere. That in the end, I ended up showering. If you're in a country where there's, I don't know, maybe it's a Muslim country, instead of toilet paper, you hose your bum off.
Yeah, Thailand. I like that more. That's
I
a
prefer
much
that.
better
It's
system.
a much better system. There's
much
no question.
cleaner.
No question that you say what you like about Islam.
Yeah.
They've got a much cleaner system.
No, that's the only place I've come across it is in Thailand. But
Yeah, and that's not Muslim.
imagine
what
you
they
had
get it from.
something on a plate, right? Would you wipe the plate with a
What is the thing?
paper towel?
What's the name?
Poo.
Firstly, who's
No,
made
call
dinner?
it. Say
That's my
it's-
first question.
Say it's ketchup, right? Would you clean the stuff off the plate with a tissue and then
Hey.
put it back in the cupboard? No, you wouldn't. But
This
would
is all
you spray
rhetoric.
it off with water and put it in the cupboard? Yes, you would. So that's
Why
my
would you
argument.
not? Why would you not give your own bottom the care that you'd give a plate? That's the Matt Morgan
Yeah,
theory.
you can eat your dinner off this.
Nice, good work. Well, quite. Anyway, I end up using that hose
As
to
what?
shower.
Oh, really?
I showered myself. That's the level of austerity I was dealing with.
Well, how else were you meant to shower?
You
just
could have used
weren't.
the shower. But I
But it
don't
was
know.
too far away,
I couldn't be bothered.
and my sedan chair had broken.
Well, actually, the water pressure wasn't great. Anyway, look, I'm
Oh,
not saying.
God. This spiritual journey went about an inch. So you were meant to stay there a week, but you left after 2 days, right? How